Hey guys, in today's video we will continue to see the new story called The Legend of Yamoshi. We saw that Yamoshi finally appeared after millions of years of sealing. This is the return of the legend from the past, the return of the first Saiyan to become a god, the return of Yamoshi. But before we start watching this amazing story, you shouldn't forget to hit the like button and comment on the story. Well, if you're already done, then grab your popcorn bucket and your soda, and let's follow this new story. In the Saiyan Temple. Currently, it was possible to see Frieza and his soldiers looking at the center of that place, where there was a black sphere. But now inside, there was a Saiyan who appeared to have great power, something that made Frieza look with a great curiosity at the Saiyan. Frieza thought, "That aura that is coming out of him is very impressive, an aura made of pure power. Who is that Saiyan?" Emperor Frieza wondered as he looked at the Saiyan in front of him. Then they looked better at the Saiyan who just appeared in that place after the explosion. All Frieza's soldiers were on alert, as well as Frieza himself, who was ready to start a battle right there. After a few seconds, the Saiyan finally opens his eyes, and that was enough to make all the Frieza soldiers very scared, and make Frieza himself feel a shiver down his spine because of the assassin aura that was emanating from the Saiyan's body. The mysterious Saiyan said, "Who are you, and where am I?" asked the Saiyan in his cold voice, without a shred of emotion, as he looked at the Frieza soldiers, who mostly couldn't even breathe in the presence of that Saiyan. Frieza's advisor said, "We are members of Lord Frieza's army, and the place where you are is called the Tomb of the Saiyan Emperors, a place where the greatest kings of the Saiyans were buried," said Frieza's advisor, while looking at the Saiyan in her front that stared at her coldly, but she didn't even care about the Saiyan's cold eyes in front of her. Mysterious Saiyan said, "Wow, you are really someone of courage. Looking at me like that and not showing even an ounce of fear or anguish, that is something really impressive," said the Saiyan while looking at Frieza's counselor, who was staring at him now with a small smile on her face. Frieza's advisor said, "I appreciate your praise, sir. For the aura that you emanate from your body, you are a great warrior. And for the tail you possessed, I would say you are a Saiyan, am I right?" The mysterious Saiyan said, "That's right. I am a Saiyan, and my name is Yamoshi," said the Saiyan while looking at Frieza's counselor. The moment Frieza and his advisor heard the Saiyan's name, they were very impressed, because in front of them was the one who had become a legend of the Saiyans, Yamoshi being the first Saiyan to become a god and defeat a legion of evil Saiyans that were threatening the destruction of planet Vegeta at that time. Frieza said, "Yamoshi, the one who was able to become a Super Saiyan god and defeat a legion of evil Saiyans that were threatening to destruction of planet Vegeta," asked Frieza to make sure the one in front of him was the real Yamoshi. Yamoshi said, "Wow, did I get that famous? From what I remember back in my day, I wasn't a legend. But from what you've said now, I'm the Yamoshi you're talking about. It's myself," said Yamoshi, surprised to have become so famous since the last time he saw someone. Yamoshi said, "And now I want to know, who are you, and why you are in this place?" asked the Saiyan while looking with his cold eyes and without any feeling at Frieza, who for a few seconds felt the fear of death. Frieza thought, "What was that? I felt the fear of death just by looking into the Saiyan's eyes," thought Frieza, clearly annoyed that he felt the fear of death when looking into Yamoshi's eyes. Frieza said, "I am Emperor Frieza, and these are my soldiers. We are looking for a way to defeat one of my arch enemies, and we ended up finding this place. And we saw some energy pillars that threw this energy to a black sphere. And this sphere trains that energy, and for that reason I ordered my soldiers to destroy those pillars. And when that happened, the sphere started to crack, and from it you appeared," spoke Frieza while looking at Yamoshi, who after Frieza's speech put his hand on his chin, showing that he was thinking about something. Yamoshi spoke, "Emperor Frieza, an Arcosian, self-titled an emperor. That's unexpected," said the Saiyan in a sarcastic tone, while staring at Frieza, who was now surprised by the Saiyan's absence. Frieza said, "How do you know I'm an Arcosian? Did you by any chance meet an Arcosian in your day?" asked Frieza while looking at Yamoshi, who started laughing when hearing Frieza's speech. Yamoshi said, "Do I know an Arcosian? But of course I know. After all, I was the one who destroyed your home planet," said Yamoshi with a predatory smile while looking at Frieza, who was startled to hear such words as well as his soldiers. Frieza thought, so he was the one who destroyed planet Xeno millions of years ago. He is the reason why my father and I had to destroy the Saiyans, and because of him, I destroyed planet Vegeta for fear of someone like him being born again. But even so, that damn Son Goku was born. Apart from all that, I was one of the last, if not the last Arcosian, who almost died at the hands of that Son Goku worm. The Arcosian thought, very angry at Son Goku, and now at Yamoshi. Yamoshi said, "If I remember correctly, you Arcosians thought you were the strongest race in the entire universe, and you always despised us, the Saiyans. But during the war, the Arcosians tried to destroy us, the Saiyans. But I myself destroyed all the elite Arcosians, and finally, I destroyed your home planet. I remember that day very well," said the Saiyan while facing Frieza, who was clearly very angry with Yamoshi's provocation. Frieza said, "What the hell? I will kill you myself, and I will recover the title of the strongest race in the universe. Even though you are a legend, I will eliminate you, and then I will kill that damn Son Goku," speaks Frieza, emanating his full rage power. Soon Frieza came down from his transport and started to raise his power. Soon his body started to glow golden, and after a few seconds Frieza had his body completely golden. That being the golden Frieza from the strongest form that Frieza had so far. That moment, Frieza said, "Fear before the power of the golden Frieza. Now I will show you how we Yakuzians are the strongest, especially stronger than you Saiyans, the stupid worms in the entire universe," spoke Frieza, now in his golden form, while striking a pose with open arms. Yamoshi spoke, "A transformation that has divine power. Impressive. Your power, I must say, but it's still very weak, and just to show your weakness, I'll let you land the first blow," said Yamoshi, leaving his guard open for Frieza to attack him. While Yamoshi was still, Frieza concentrated all his power in his fist and advanced towards Yamoshi, hitting him with a very strong blow to the face of the Saiyan, who didn't even move. This surprised everyone at the place. Yamoshi said, "Is that all the power of an Arcosian who has divine power? Pathetic," said the Saiyan while facing Frieza, who was now very afraid of Yamoshi because he didn't even move or feel his blow. Yamoshi said, "Now allow me to show you the power of a stupid worm, or at least a fraction of it," said the Saiyan while facing Frieza, who upon hearing that immediately moved away from Yamoshi. But that wasn't enough, because Yamoshi instantly appeared in front of Frieza with a small amount of ki in his fist, and with a mere light punch, he made the Arcosian cross the temple, and in a mere instant, Frieza was already in the atmosphere of the temple planet where they were. Yamoshi said, "What do you think of the powers of a stupid worm? It seems your power is a long way from mine, you idiot gecko," said the Saiyan, immediately giving a small slap in the face of Frieza, causing him to be thrown with extreme violence on the ground of that planet. The moment Frieza fell to the ground, it was possible to see a huge crater, and in the center was Frieza's body with serious injuries and passed out, and because of that, his golden Frieza transformation disappeared. Yamoshi said, "How boring. I hope I have other strong warriors in this universe. And who is that Son Goku that this gecko was talking about? From the way he said, he must be a Saiyan. I think I'll go after him," said the Saiyan, soon flying out of that place, leaving Frieza in a semi-dead state, and his army of Frieza is there paralyzed with extreme fear of Yamoshi. Frieza unintentionally ended up waking up a living legend, a being whose strength must match that of a god of destruction. Yamoshi, the first Saiyan to become a god, and the strongest legend of Saiyans, had been reborn again, and now he would go in search of one opponent at his height. Currently flying through the vacuum of space, it was possible to see Yamoshi, who after being freed by Frieza's actions, was looking for a planet where he once lived, while he was still walking through that universe. Yamoshi thought, "I should go to where planet Vegeta is. Well, I was, since that gecko destroyed it years ago. I think I'd better go to that planet. I've been isolated from them for years, to my master's powers that I gained when I first turned into a god," thought Yamoshi, as he thought what he should do at that moment. Yamoshi thought, Well, I'm going to that planet, and when I'm there, I'm going to take the opportunity to train a little, since it's been a long time since I've really fought anyone, and I don't want to be rusty when I face an opponent my height, so I better train a little, thought the Saiyan, soon flying towards the planet to be able to better control his divine powers. Yamoshi thought, on second thought, that Arcosian spoke of a warrior named Son Goku, and by the way he spoke, he must have been defeated by this warrior before, and not only that, I think he was defeated more than once. It means that this warrior must be strong. Would he be able to fight me for at least 1 minute? Well, after I train myself, I will travel to the universe in search of this warrior, and I will defeat the strongest opponents I find on my way. The Saiyan thought with an excited smile on his face, because there are other people who can use the divine power like Frieza. Yamoshi said, I just hope he's strong enough for me to use at least 20% of my power. Well, that doesn't matter now. I'm really excited to face stronger warriors now that I'm back in this world. The Saiyan spoke excitedly, and soon he started to fly even faster as he was very excited to meet really strong opponents. On planet Earth. Currently on planet Earth, it was possible to see Goku and Vegeta training again, and now both were transformed into Super Saiyan Blue. The two Saiyans were training much more than usual. Neither of them knew very well, but for some reason, they felt obligated to training more than ever. For both Saiyans, it was as if their Saiyan instincts were warning them that they needed to get stronger to face a new opponent. Meanwhile, Bulma was talking to Whis and Beerus was quieter than ever and just ate the food in front of him while listening to Bulma and Whis' conversation. Bulma said, Look, I know that Goku and Vegeta like to train, but I think these last 3 days they've been training too much and are taking their battles very seriously. So much so that I have to send them both into the recovery machine to heal your wounds. And this is already making me worried. And not only me, Chi-Chi also told me that Goku is more restless than ever these last few days. Vegeta's wife spoke as she watched her husband's battle against his childhood friend. Whis said, I've noticed that too. They're taking their disputes very seriously, and it's not very normal. What do you think of that, Mr. Beerus? Asked the angel while looking at Beerus, making Bulma also look at the god of destruction, who soon decided to manifest. Beerus said, It must be because of that guy. The god of destruction spoke in a serious tone, something that made Bulma and Whis look at each other as they blinked their eyes several times quickly, showing that they were both confused. Whis said, Dude, who else are you talking about, Beerus? Asked the angel to his god of destruction. Beerus said, Yamoshi, the first Saiyan to become a god. Those two, after they heard what Shenron said about Yamoshi, they're training with everything they have, and that's because they're Saiyans, said Beerus, still watching the battle between Goku and Vegeta, and he didn't even look at Whis. And for Bulma to reply, she said, Look, I understand that they were excited to learn that there was a Saiyan with such power in ancient times, but he's currently sealed, isn't he? And even if that idiot Frieza finds where he is, I don't think he will be able to break the seal that was used to seal the Yamoshi, will he? Said the woman while looking at Whis, who then put his hand on her chin. Whis said, To be honest, I don't know. Frieza is someone who would do anything to defeat Mr. Goku and Mr. Vegeta. We have to remember that he allied with a Saiyan like Broly just to destroy them. So if Frieza manages to break Yamoshi's seal, only he has two options. One of them is that Yamoshi stays on Frieza's side, and that would be a big problem. And the second would be where Yamoshi didn't even care about Frieza. And with that, we would have another Saiyan who doesn't like Frieza. And that way Frieza will have another new enemy, said the angel while looking at Bulma. And then straight ahead where Goku and Vegeta were now all wet from their training as they were both in their base forms. Beerus said, Make no mistake, Whis. Yamoshi not being on Frieza's side doesn't mean he will be on our side. Now I want to know something. Did you find what I asked for? The god of destruction spoke right after looking at Whis' face, something he hasn't done since the beginning of the conversation. Whis said, And you're right. And about what you asked me I already found. The angel spoke soon, invoking his staff and looking at Beerus, who had risen and was now face to face with Whis. Beerus said, Then show me everything you found about Yamoshi. The god of destruction spoke in a much more serious tone, thus attracting the attention of not only Bulma, but also Goku and Vegeta, who were now on Bulma's side. Vegeta said, Yamoshi information? Said the Saiyan in a surprised and serious tone at the same time. Whis said, That's right. Mr. Beerus has asked me to go looking for information about Yamoshi. A few days ago, I found some things, very interesting things, that may have to do with the fact that Frieza hates you Saiyans so much, spoke the angel, leaving Goku and Vegeta, surprised that Yamoshi has everything to do with Frieza hating them so much. Goku said, Does Yamoshi have anything to do with Frieza's hatred for Saiyans? Asked the Saiyan to the angel. Whis said, Well, apparently at that time, the Yamoshi set foot in this world. There was a great war. A war that Yamoshi fought alone and was the winner. In the middle of this war, Yamoshi ended up destroying several planets, including the home of the Arcosians called planet Zeno. And by coincidence, Frieza is an Arcosian, and that's why he was so scared of you Saiyans, because the legendary Super Saiyan we know as Yamoshi destroyed all of Frieza's race. Whis spoke, revealing the fact that Yamoshi was the one who destroyed Frieza's race home planet. Vegeta said, So Yamoshi destroyed his home world, and several years later they destroyed the Saiyans' home world. Who would say it's not? Said the Saiyan in a half-ironic tone, while looking at Whis. Whis said, Apparently at that time, Frieza's race was the strongest, and liked to enslave the weakest, is when they came to know the Saiyans tried to enslave them. But Yamoshi and other elite Saiyan warriors of the time were strong enough to delay the conquest of the planet, and during that time, they were not attacking the evil Saiyans who allied themselves with Frieza. They tried to destroy all the Saiyans and planet Vegeta itself. And it was at this time that Yamoshi became a god for the first time, spoke the angel while looking at everyone in their place, who was surprised by the story of Yamoshi and the history of hatred between the Arcosians and the Saiyans. Vegeta said, It seems that Arcosians and Saiyans were born to hate each other. Yamoshi made the Arcosians go extinct and Frieza did the same thing to us. The more I find out about the past, but it seems that Frieza was seeking revenge on the Arcosians, who were killed by the hands of Yamoshi and other Saiyans, said Vegeta, while listening to all attentively. Beerus said, I must agree with Vegeta on this one, but now I want to know something, Whis. You had told me that someone would investigate the place where Yamoshi would possibly be. Did he get anything? Asked the god of destruction while looking at the angel. Whis said, Yes, he did, and he even sent me pictures. The angel spoke right away, making the tip of his staff glow and transmit some pictures for everyone to see. Soon the images show Frieza's soldiers inside a temple, and then a type of black spear that was being bombarded with energy by 4 pillars that soon by Frieza's orders were destroyed. Seconds after the destruction of the pillars, the black sphere in the center started to crack and suddenly exploded, and at the place of the explosion it was possible to see an older man with a monkey tail, being this the last image they had. Seeing such images, everyone already knew who that being was that had been released from the dark sphere, and everyone looked at Beerus, who ended up raising his power unconsciously. Beerus said, Looks like Frieza really did it. He just freed Yamoshi. The god of destruction spoke in a clearly angry tone as his power of destruction was released from within his body. On planet Earth. Currently on planet Earth, it was possible to see Goku and his friends looking at the holographic screen that was coming out of Whis' staff that showed the image of Yamoshi, who had been freed from his seal by Frieza's hands. As everyone watched the image of Yamoshi, Beerus, who was in the place, was also looking at the screen. He was clearly annoyed with all that, irritated to the point of releasing his power of destruction, causing the ground around him to start to be destroyed. Then Whis speaks. He says, Mr. Beerus, calm down please, said the angel while looking at Beerus, who after taking a long heavy sigh stopped, releasing his power of destruction, causing the floor of the place to stop getting destroyed. Beerus said, Okay, Whis. The god of destruction spoke calmer than before. Goku said, So this is the Yamoshi guy. He seems to be very powerful, said the Saiyan while looking at the image of the first Saiyan to become a god, the true legend of Saiyans. Whis said, That's right. That's what Yamoshi looks like, and from what I've seen, he's really powerful, and you can tell that just by his appearance and physical bearing, plus the aura that his gaze conveyed. An aura of a warrior who has seen the death more than once and survived them all, said the angel while looking at the image of Yamoshi, who really emanates an imposing aura. Goku said, Wow, If even Mr. Whis spoke, then he really is very strong. But is he as strong as me and Vegeta? Asked the Saiyan to his rival, who was beside him while looking at the image of Yamoshi. Vegeta said, I would really like to say that we are the strongest, but by that aura he transmits, he must be stronger than us. Yes, much stronger than us, said the Saiyan, a little indignant by the fact that he admits that Yamoshi and someone stronger than him, but at that time, a little proud to know that he is a Saiyan just like him. Goku said, wow, that Yamoshi must be pretty powerful for even Vegeta to admit he's strong, said the Saiyan while looking at Vegeta. Bulma said, are you sure this Vegeta is my husband? A proud Saiyan who would never admit that anyone is superior to him, Vegeta's wife said in a playful tone while looking at Vegeta, who was getting annoyed that his rival and his wife were making fun of what he had said. Vegeta said, don't get me wrong, I'm very powerful, but I know that this Yamoshi is a true living legend. He was the first of all Saiyans to transform into a Super Saiyan God, and that in itself is a reason for I have respect in him, said the Saiyan while looking at everyone in the place, who were quite surprised by the proud Saiyan's speech. Vegeta said, and he's also a Saiyan just like me and Kakarot, as well as Broly himself. And if I have to admit that someone is stronger than me, only if it's another Saiyan, and for that reason I have to train even harder to overcome him, and become an even bigger legend than him, said the Saiyan, motivated to surpass Yamoshi, and be an even greater legend than the first Saiyan to become a god. Goku said, wow, if you keep talking like that, it will only make me want to become stronger, and be able to fight this Yamoshi even more, and even surpass it in the future, said the Saiyan, very excited and motivated to become stronger, just like Vegeta. Vegeta said, but don't forget, Kakarot, the one who will become an even greater legend than Yamoshi will be me, and I will be the most powerful Saiyan in all of history. Whether in the future, past or present, said the Saiyan while looking at Goku, who just gave his classic smile to his rival Vegeta. Goku said, no, the one who will be the strongest of all will be me, and I will be the one who will defeat Yamoshi in the future, said the Saiyan while looking at his rival. Beerus thought, while these two are excited about Yamoshi's awakening, I, on the other hand, can't think of anything else besides that dream I had, where I had the vision that in the future, Yamoshi will be the Saiyan who will defeat me. Will it be that he comes after me, in search of the title of the God of Destruction of Universe 7? Wondered the God of Destruction as he looked at the image of Yamoshi that was still being transmitted by the staff of Whis. After a few seconds, Whis' staff began to glow several times in a row, showing that he had received a message from the person who had sent the image that showed Yamoshi's appearance. Whis said, looks like I just got a new message, and there's also a video, and it looks like Yamoshi and Frieza won't get along very well, said the angel while looking at his staff, and then looking at everyone in the place who looked at it quickly. Beerus spoke. What does that mean, Whis? Asked the God of Destruction while looking at the angel in front of him. Whis said, it means that Frieza, with that pride of his, ended up losing control and went for Yamoshi, and that was his biggest mistake, said the angel soon, looking at everyone who was even more curious about what happened with Yamoshi and Frieza. Whis said, good for you to understand better what I'm talking about, and better for you to see for yourself, said the angel as the holographic screen that was transmitted by his staff played the video where Yamoshi had fought Frieza. In the video that Whis received from one of his contacts, spread across Universe 7, it showed the small battle between Yamoshi and Frieza, and the Saiyan didn't even try to take the battle seriously, that to him looked more like a warrior crushing an insignificant insect. In addition to the video itself, it showed that Yamoshi himself revealed that he was responsible for the destruction of the home planet of Frieza's race, something that made Vegeta smile at the thought of several beings like Frieza being erased by the hands of a Saiyan. Vegeta thought, it's a good thing Yamoshi destroyed all those worms along with this planet, because I wouldn't want there to be other beings like Frieza roaming all over Universe 7. Vegeta thought, having shivers just thinking what would happen if Yamoshi had it not destroyed the Arcosians' home planet. There would have been many other beings like Frieza scattered across the universe. Soon the video shows Frieza in his golden form attacking Yamoshi with all his strength, but Yamoshi didn't even feel Frieza's attack, something that made Goku and Vegeta very surprised, as even the two would feel the pain that time. But Yamoshi didn't even care about the blow from Frieza. Goku said, He received that attack from Frieza like it was nothing, and he didn't even feel the blow. He really is very strong," said the Saiyan very excitedly while looking at the holographic screen in front of him. Vegeta said, "Impressive, Yamoshi not even being transformed. Frieza's blow was no big deal for Yamoshi," the Saiyan Prince said while looking at the holographic screen in front of him. Going back to the video, it was possible to see that now it was Yamoshi's turn to attack, and with just 2 blows he managed to defeat Frieza, leaving him in a semi-dead state, and soon he started flying out of the place. And soon after the video ended, Beerus said, "Yamoshi is strong enough to withstand Frieza's strength, and not even try to dodge, but completely opening his own guard to receive Frieza's attack, and he didn't even feel that blow," said the God of Destruction while thinking at the level of power that Saiyans possessed. Whis said, "That's right, Sir Beerus, and from what he ended up sending me a new message saying that Frieza is currently in a recovery chamber, almost dead, and from what I was sent, he is between life and death," said the angel while looking to his staff, which soon glowed again, and at that moment Whis ended up seeing the message and was shocked by the message. Bulma said, "What happened, Whis? You look like you got scared when he looked at his staff," Vegeta's wife said while looking at the angel. Whis said, "And because I ended up getting another message, and it was that Yamoshi is after the Saiyans that survived, and he's after one in particular called Son Goku." The angel spoke, causing everyone to be shocked, and everyone yelled, "What?" They all shouted at the same time as they heard what Whis said. Currently on planet Earth, it was possible to see Goku, Vegeta, Bulma, Beerus, and Whis, who were very shocked by the fact that Yamoshi wanted to find the Saiyans who are still alive, and one in particular that would be Son Goku. Something everyone was wondering was what Goku did this time to make Yamoshi want to find him. Beerus said, "What did you do this time, Goku? Why does Yamoshi want to meet you?" The God of Destruction asked the Saiyan, who was still in shock to learn that Yamoshi wanted to find him. Goku said, "This time I didn't do anything, and I don't know why Yamoshi would want to meet me," said the Saiyan while looking at Beerus. Whis said, "Maybe Yamoshi wants to meet you because of Frieza," said the angel, attracting the attention of everyone in the place. Vegeta said, "I don't understand. I know Frieza doesn't like Kakarot, but I don't think he would say anything about Kakarot to Yamoshi," said the Saiyan Prince while looking at Whis. Whis said, "I agree with you, Mr. Vegeta, but I think Frieza, in an act of fury, ended up speaking the name of Mr. Goku, and Yamoshi, for having heard Goku's name, now he wants to find out who that person would be. And Frieza must have said that Goku is a Saiyan, so Yamoshi must want to find the Saiyan named Son Goku, who is of his race," the angel explained while looking at the Prince of Saiyan. Bulma said, "That makes sense. Frieza, whenever he's mad at Goku or Vegeta, he just says damn Saiyans. And in that speech, Yamoshi must have understood that Goku is a Saiyan who has already faced Frieza, and for that reason he wants to find Goku," said the woman while looking at everyone in the place. Goku said, "But what does he want with me and the Saiyans that still exist?" asked Goku while looking at his friends who also had the same question on their minds. Vegeta said, "Maybe it's because he's a Saiyan and wants to find other Saiyans, that's all," said the Prince of Saiyans while looking at everyone, who was a little confused by that. Goku said, "I still don't understand why he wants to find the other Saiyans who are still alive. Does he want to reunite our race?" said the Saiyan, soon turning and facing Vegeta, who was beside him. Vegeta said, "You are more idiotic than I imagined, Kakarot," said the Saiyan in a tone a little annoyed by the lack of intelligence of his training partner and rival. Goku said, "Why are you calling me an idiot now?" asked the Saiyan without understanding why Vegeta had called him an idiot at that moment. Vegeta said, "We are Saiyans. We are a warrior race. And what do you think a legend wants with us after many years that he was sealed? What do you think he will want to do when he finds us, the last Saiyans?" said the Saiyan to Goku. Goku said, "I don't know. I don't understand." The Saiyan replied doubtfully, something that made Vegeta slap himself in the face. Bulma said, "Look, if he's a very powerful Saiyan and wants to find the other Saiyans, that can only mean that he, like you two, live wanting a real battle. Yamoshi just wants to face a Saiyan warrior who has the power of a deity, since you two have godlike powers, and he should probably think about that since you two faced Frieza and beat him," said Bulma while looking at everyone, especially her husband, who was glad that someone finally understood what he wanted to say. Vegeta said, "I thank you every day for having a smart wife, and not a dumb and stupid wife like Kakarot," said Vegeta while looking at his wife, who gave him a smile and then looked at Goku, who was annoyed at being called an idiot again by Vegeta. Goku said, "Hey, stop calling me an idiot all the time, and it would be a lot easier if you spoke at once and not get all this suspense," said the Saiyan, a little annoyed with his rival. Beerus said, "In short, Yamoshi wants to find the last Saiyans to face them. This is the simplest answer. After all, as Bulma said, he's a Saiyan, and like every Saiyan, always wants a good fight," said the God of Destruction while looking at the two Saiyans who were arguing. Whis said, "So if he's going to come after Mr. Goku and Mr. Vegeta, that means you two should train harder than ever. After all, he defeated Frieza with just 2 moves, and from what I saw, he didn't even use half of his strength in those 2 blows," said the angel while looking at Goku and Vegeta, who had already stopped fighting like children and were paying attention to what Whis was talking about. Goku said, "Wait, if Yamoshi is going to come after all the Saiyans, that means he's going to go after Broly too, right? Will Broly be defeated like Frieza?" asked the Saiyan while looking at everyone, especially Vegeta. Vegeta said, "If Yamoshi finds Broly, it will be a battle that will destroy the planet they are on, because Broly also faced Frieza, and Broly easily defeated Frieza," said the Prince of Saiyans to Goku. Beerus thought, "If Yamoshi finds Broly, it will be an incredible battle. After all, they both have gigantic power, and both are the ones who inspired the creation of 2 legends of the Saiyan race, and now both are active and alive as they will probably face each other," thought the God of Destruction while thinking about Broly's battle against Yamoshi, something Whis was also thinking about. Whis thought, "The legendary Super Saiyan versus the Super Saiyan God. A battle between 2 legendary beings that will make the entire universe tremble with their confrontation," Whis thought as he looked at his staff, which was scanning Universe 7, in search of finding Broly and Yamoshi's current whereabouts. Now on planet Vampa, the planet of Broly. Currently on planet Vampa, or Broly's planet, it was possible to see Broly and his companion inside the house that Goku had brought them to live, and Broly was lying in bed sleeping, and Lemo and Chirai were making plans on which planet would be next. They would go. Chirai spoke. "What is it, Lemo? What is the problem with you today? You're quieter than usual, and haven't even complained about anything all day," asked Chirai while looking at his friend. Lemo said, "It's not a big deal. It's just that earlier today, I took a look at my scouter and got a universal message that was sent to all soldiers in Mr. Frieza's army," Lemo said while looking at the white-haired woman and light green skin. Chirai spoke. "But why did you do that? You know we can't use the scouters, so we don't get tracked, Lemo," said the woman in a more altered tone of voice. After all, she and Lemo, besides Broly, were being hunted by Frieza's army. Lemo said, "I know that, Chirai, but for some reason I thought it would be an important thing. That's why I took the scouter and saw the message." Orange-skinned, older-looking Lemo spoke. Chirai said, "Well, you've already turned on the scouter, and you've seen the message, so there's no turning back." "But then, what was the message you heard?" the woman asked as she looked at her friend. Lemo said, "Apparently Frieza together with his soldiers found a type of temple or tomb of the ancient Saiyans, and inside it they found a type of black spear that was being held by some energy pillars. Seeing this, Frieza must have thought that it was a weapon or information to be used against the Saiyans and ordered them to destroy it. Only that it was not a weapon, but a Saiyan that was sealed inside the black spear," Lemo said while looking at her friend, who was very surprised by such information and knowing that there is another Saiyan alive besides Vegeta, Goku, and Broly. Chirai said, "But who is this Saiyan?" the woman asked, who was quite curious to know who the Saiyan guy would be. Lemo said, "Apparently he is a Saiyan named Yamoshi. This Yamoshi being the first Saiyan to become a god and a legend among Saiyans." Chirai said, "So besides Broly, this Yamoshi is also a legend among the Saiyans," said the woman, very euphoric. But soon everyone's attention is turned to Broly, who had just woken up and is already leaving his house with a very serious face, something that made Chirai and Lemo look at each other and then follow the Saiyans out of their house. As soon as everyone went out of the house and the cave, Broly looked at the sky, and then Lemo and Chirai looked too, and soon the 3 came across a man flying while looking at everyone, especially Broly being that Yamoshi who was on the planet to face the Broly. Yamoshi thought, I found the legendary Saiyan of this generation. I hope he's as strong as the one I knew in my time. The Saiyan thought as he looked at Brawly, who had a serious expression on his face. We've reached the end of another video today, so for those of you who like this content of this channel and you want to see the continuation of this story, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to leave your comment, which is something very important for the channel. So I'll see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.